Yo, assalamu alaikum badingolu, assalamu alaikum matul mel jibe wala sainten. Ka be bismillah program to na political discussion sem sambale na wati ni wati kabon na YouTube TV media. Murta na jam ko rege bi menketa November karola tilmu ni wora wuloti amarai. 27th of November 2025. Kanana ka political discussion do fana sambale na jam. Bi abedi ala bake na program abedi ala bake. Jangan ba commencer la katungan na topiko menu kacala nge aren jam e bajala albe salom bina men kacala jambi nuclear water back Gambia banko nuclear water back e badi mulu atolu men be jibero la ngal konton kotake mo be wati kono kal konton and to say big good morning to you all, or good afternoon, walanto suto, depending on albewatul benokoro. Dabila bage bifana, ali programo share nakacha. B aliena tomnil jale a critical tabag. Katun kujamala bekere menialon ko menu nyanaka kacha. Wala asabu na tomnelo nying be dulal menu be mala na beke na tomnelo nyimbala. Way men sabu walo nyentiko na masakunda meketa adama barola masakundati ila lack of compassion for the farmers, ila lack of respect for the Gambian farmers. Aning the double standard game membeke kan Gambia bege mala nimboda woto bidala Guinea-Bissau man kenna problem oti in ordinary cases bari this is an extraordinary situation. Mengia Sabo, we will have to talk about Guinea-Bissau. Mediamulela kuala, because Guinea-Bissau menka keje aka Gambia affected directly. Wala sabong ila campaign beke ka wato menna, ila katre fay kualo ngandabe bondige, because wamu ila internal democracy that is for the citizens of Guinea-Bissau. Sain karte fayo bandate nyamete result on that situation o membije one regional situation already, so it concerns us and that's why we will have to talk about it. And in ayata non konte dinkala geba. Guinea-Bissau so jarol menye masakundata they just announced that Sojara Kebata ya sworn in as the president of the transitional government. Mengi ya lonko atelebe masakunda nying nyatung kayalo. So I know there are so many uncertainties kajeko the entire thing for plot lombang for mage ploti for Omar Sissoho for aning sojarol benyokan for anite nyokan, but one thing we can tell you wala nyintiko sojarol la nyatonko ya mutale ya kalindi signed pro kake Guinea-Bissau la president wote, and that's what happened. Eko coup in Guinea-Bissau, General Horta and Tam sworn in as the president of the transition. So he has sworn in as the president of the transition. This is from France 24, which is a very credible news source. General Horta and Tam was sworn in on Thursday, November, as president of the transition and of the High Military Command to lead Guinea-Bissau for 1 year. The military officers who staged a coup the day before announced during a press conference in Bissau, I have just been sworn in to lead the higher command, said General Horta Entam, after taking the oath of office during the ceremony at the headquarters, where security was heavily reinforced. AFP journalists observed. Dozens of heavy armed soldiers have been deployed to the scene. The military officers who seized power also announced to AFP the reopening of all borders. All borders are open now. General Lassana Mansali, Inspector General of the Armed Forces, told AFP a few minutes after General Hota was appointed head of the junta. The capital Bissau was relatively calm on Thursday, with soldiers deployed in the streets and many residents preferring to stay home, even after the night-time curfew was lifted. Shops and banks remain closed. ECOWAS condemnation. The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, strongly condemned the coup in Guinea-Bissau on Thursday, 3 days after presidential and legislative elections, calling it a direct threat to the stability of the country and the region. Located between Senegal and Guinea-Conakry, Guinea-Bissau has already experienced 4 coups d'etat and a host of attempted coups since its independence in 1974. The proclamation of election results has thus often given rise to protest movements in this country. Many Guinea-Bissau, as you know, this is from France 24. A new leader, Memo General, is it Hota? Yeah, General Hota, who is a military officer, has been sworn in to lead the junta, the transitional government, for 1 year. So he's going to be the president of Guinea-Bissau for 1 year. Again, Mormang Agrejang, because this cannot be true. Omar Sissoho cannot be the president. So Jarol Menubakoto. So Mojamaya Mirakomunko, this is an inside job that these people are going to halt the announcement of the result. Then after that, one way or the other, they will, come out about umata yata president again. I continue just to make sure that Komongo official independent electoral commissioner results can announce in Guinea-Bissau. So this is the belief many people are mentioned. But what we can confirm, this new army general, General Hota, mutala are sworn in the calendrota le pro Guinea-Bissau la president can you transition on for 1 year. So now, Alenga ECOWAS la condemnation OGB, because this is where I have the problem. ECOWAS is going to remain disrespected under the eyes of African citizens, Walantu West African nations. Dalilo me asabunga wofu wala mnyentiko. Omar Sissoho covering another Guinea-Bissau. The whole lot of things has been happening. Even though Guinea-Bissau la internal democratic process lady, ECOWAS wouldn't have intervened directly. But in the ECOWAS general meetings, one would have expected that ECOWAS leaders would be addressing some of these issues, especially on human rights abuses and unwarranted disappearance of opposition and military leaders. Secondly, last year, Albea Moileko last year, Omar Sissoho lota Guinea-Bissau, and he announced he announced he was never going to run. He gave that word to the people of Guinea-Bissau. Last year, announced around November or September. He began a few months later, Anata Koteke Ako Abelolale. Because Kabiri Yala Masakunda Boindi Dibideka Trefayola. Ayalonko, definitely he is not going to win. So I announced ko Amanta Lola. That was not just anybody mayor announcement, okay. But this is from the president. Mayor announcement, okay, promising the people he is not going to stand to seek for another term. Bring another Ayala mind falling. One would have thought, yes, I want a constitutional mayor Sabuko Mongaya ban Purakana Lokata another term. But this is a presidential word. Meya lonkaka wedle kare ning another kudo samana contrary to a promise mendi akamaka wole wulendi bankoka. At that very point, ECOWAS would have sat Omar down, gave him an advice. ko Guinea-Bissau is a fragile democracy. Akana makang bulindi Guinea-Bissau kono. Akana action bulindi Guinea-Bissau kono membe kana makangoti. Yabula, because more member ECOWAS nyato, they were all the same, including our own Adama Barrow. Can you imagine? These are the people many are will ECOWAS la nyato. Macky Sall before that. These are the people. So you see now, this is the recipe of Nyatonkoro Kila Kamuta Baliake. Guinea-Bissau soldier role, in my belief, this is a plot. Soldier role ya bundle on good faith. Guinea-Bissau is going to fall, slides into the hands of another brutal dictator because Omar Niyabula Sitenya Namanka win according to the majority of the sources, even the international independent medias, the freelancers. Will be confirm Omar Amankate Fayoni win. So now Amankate Fayoni win. Forcefully, he want to remain in power, along which a lot of people are going to die. Soldiers and citizens, innocent citizens are going to die along the way. Democracy is going to be killed in Guinea-Bissau. That is a catastrophe. That is a recipe for another unrest in Guinea-Bissau. And who knows where that is going to head us to. So the neighboring countries, Guinea-Bissau, Gambia, Senegal, and Guinea-Conakry are all going to be affected. We are all going to be affected because this is what is going to happen. Another country, Mea Lonko, is going to be lawless, and the criminal syndicates, the criminal gangs, some of which are residing in our country, the Gambia. The Banka Keta crew and whole lot of Caesars men keta na porolto. Well, be na chance to be, kasira fomulta kasamana molla bankul kankana banko funikilta ke betinya. This is what is going to happen again. Already Guinea-Bissau, I'm going to stop no day, but just think of it. Ning unrest bekegan, civil unrest bekegan Guinea-Bissau. What do you expect? So the regional bele be affect, especially Gambia, because Gambia, the criminals many along ke benyi system okono, well yalon ko Gambia is a safe havens for their transactions. Ila consignment olu ya lonno ko purka wol mabondo wala some you can see in Gambia as we had blado bege many alon ko continental beloringi sojarol ke kanta paral ke kanta wo continental mo malo mebbe kono and a lot of people believe ko all those containers many alon ke be Gambia na TDA regional do will be faring sira famol lella but if on ka jumata mo sira famol design nin to la banko sojarol ka wol kanta polisol ke kanta paral ke kanta jumata mo sira famol these are some of the things that are happening in the Gambia on the Adama Barrow leadership. So as we speak, ikoite mo la kumakangul moila, ni binale besila man saya kono, ika kumakangul menu fonye, ani na resita, ikoite wol barala wala, because at that point, ika jelo koi fa wol, wala tamu, mo la bankoti, walanto is their birthright, mo la banko mo la keolati. So I think the military junta in Guinea-Bissau, I only hope that they are not going to do us. Yemem bondinge, Omar, I manya menge Guinea-Bissau la. Remember what alenga dum the double standard hypocrisy me coming for. Walemu na political kono. Al hakilo bakan nunko UDP la ladies corners or ladies corner. Ye problem also do ni musodo e coming for Fatu Konta saying abe MPP. Ni lo kontambela nga maka omwela be Maimuna Balde fana bane na ko welcome to the hood. It is good that people like those that Fatu Konta will button to la patio completely. Ha. It's so good that people like her will button to la patio in kono. Ha. It's so good. Fatu Konta ani UDP ladies corner ye problem also. Na UDP meeting dola keda I believe yundum o busumbala. Ye problem also the ye. Give an ika banin draw like. Sunkri ni will be searing. Kawul balneng ani wol dum tanyola ye ila wodum nyola ye anata ke liparot ya lipa afana ye liparoke banen rolo ay banen rolo ke kenda ka fama ko wala yala makita hawala bele wo badala NPP ko ya try ka fundinam banta ka UDP party o beblem na leadership ka party dingol blame ka jalay roke ke fatu lombang ibitasi la ke fatu ibitasi isita platform wol belato the ministers, can UDP jalai? Because UDP la ladies corner, well name Fatu Konta a problem also. I believe what you do from the cake and hand side. because kabring atata NPP ya katale pour ka sambana say ya makoi pour ka wol samba kidi wala bar mobe yalo niko ladies kona balota amala because eyewitness all men baby ge akata men be nyala mobe ya confirm de ko ay ba masifal gindi wali mote wol fankala no wonya andum amanti ko wolda mali le paroke afana le paroke so luala kitio iba wolo kono sainte bari wombe mutali ko be mo history let wotam bitale the ladies kona we stand by them every single journey iba kono ninki dio nyinko they did the honorable thing in my opinion. It would have been so better ning ayatra nunko ya muta ya polisol kumanina polisol na kamano le paroni kana keje that would have been the best option. But yalo emotion work after blood or sometimes muka keno. But that's by the way. Adama Barrow la barino Amadou Sane. Kununko Adama Barrow be busumbala. Abe falaba fokan je time menala mid the farmers store. Wallanto meet the farmers and insult them. Meet the farmers and laugh at them. Meet the poor people and laugh at them too. Let me call it that way. Adama be wala wadola kabeo kalabante ya meeting wala wato mena wala do meeting na fanta wala wato mena busumbala. Abarene mo menkera Amadou Sane. Amadou Sane ni ikandi wandi musole nyosaba. Me ya lonko wo fana mu NPP di wala di politiko kono politika nyosabo. Aya bulo sika. Aya bulo warendende ay wandi musota aya tulo bon. Ay wandi musota aya tulo bon. Adama Barrow barene wala. Bray wandi muso tulo bon. Wonim BTM man fem moy NPP la executive ma man fem moy mol ma men ya lon ko wollel ko ka UDP jalay because UDP la women's wing or ladies corner wollel ning fat kontay problem mosoro e musu damalo mosa wo faham fa do madinke e musu damalo bar bi be mona foka Adama Barrow president o abarinde mo wolle ya bulo wulindi ay wande musota aya tulo bon e ka fa nyamen fo muso nyin fa boyta mankije ku mankije mang any authorities moy from the police from the police to the military from the NPP executive from the president himself to condemn it. This is the level of selective justice member Kekam Bankoka under Adama Barrow leadership. The same Amadou Sane, I told you Amadou Sane is going to grow wings. Yalo nga falien. Adama Barrow la mansa kunda. Ko nga fali janda kuno. Almamolo ni talibol ni wusta solo. Billahi ni Adama Ganyera 2026. Ibale muta la le kalu soron kalu bute. Ye kuoku kala yajam la mansa kunda kon Adama Barrow is going to do it to you people. Adama bal muta la bal soron na. Abal nen na kafo kono. Abali bute la. Simply because the only crime albe men commit la wolo munyiti ko almu dina nyatom kolati alkato nyalefo. Alingata. Nemman wuli nga kuke Adama la masakunda ni 2026 ngata nyamen ate fola mo koma alinkana bereken na kido la fongata 2026 fana ngandali yele Adama Barrow la masakunda itambi katra Gambia fangaka Gambia bebe kala victimoti ko Gambia be kata victimoti nyame ya jam la masakunda dunia beten and that is the time mbeba regret la ko the mistake me menke kan nyoy out of our ignorance yaja so jina beka barama call receive ba alim balal ba nga call receive alo ja be life ngal call nyaado ho okay albe live le okay mbakundula to letende mbakundula sainde okay alal hako bende yen namol be live Gambia eko party leader be meeting la Gambia college so mbe bijon be program woni mbada na janda to foni nyinata alal hako bende bage will have to go wala program wala kumata bage boy feature then ni wo bata gen sena attend na program wala nyato do maneke